Okay, we were gonna try a watch along, but they're stupid, so we're not doing them because I think they're stupid.
Marco was like, "I'm not doing this. I'm not
Yes,
doing
absolutely.
this." That was really what it
not
was.
doing that. I said
Like,
no.
you're not watching me watch.
Doing watch alongs is stupid shit. Stupid stuff.
We were outvoted by a single person.
100% right here. So
Yeah, it was outvoted. I was like, I don't want you guys.
One guy. My one guy.
I think it's weird. I'm not. That's not a fetish I'm into. So
More like a veto.
Yeah, one person has all the power in the show. If you didn't know that already,
that is true. It's true. Believe it or not. So that was a veto.
Jedi
But
Marco.
I did. Hey, the boys still went, and they're like, "Well, let's do a first take review." I said, "No, that's also kind of not what I like to do because I like to think about that and everything else." But we are doing that. It's going to be spoiler free, and if Dom tries to start spoiling stuff, we're going to ruin it. I will tell you this. Expect the hate to flow from Darth negativity. Just expect the hate to flow from him. We did get 5 questions. So we have 5. We're going to do this very quickly. It's not going to go that long. We are going to do 5 questions, spoiler free, just kind of go through. Hey, Dwayne Scott. We're going to go through it and just kind of, without spoiling stuff, just talk about like how it felt, how the first 2 episodes went. There are Jedis in it. Yes, there are.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like
what
I said,
Jedis,
you
yeah.
can answer that type of question.
Spoiler.
If you have some questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If we don't feel like they're appropriate, yes, John, you want to see this? Like,
I don't know. John was also the one that didn't like Andor, so
I think there's people on this panel that don't like anything and they like this. So,
hey, John, I'm gonna admit one thing.
We're not gonna. Hey, Ruben, we're not gonna spoil it for you. We're
No,
just
no,
gonna
no,
use it to tell our
Andor-
stuff. So you can watch this and it won't hurt. What you say?
Andor, I understand Andor. I really enjoyed Andor, but I think you should take a chance and watch the Acolyte, because it actually excited me. So I kind of and we don't
want to know what excites you.
I will say this: this would be a show that I would watch with the wife, and most Star Wars shows I wouldn't watch with the wife so far. So
he, dude, Dom, before the second the timer hit up, he 100% was like, I was wrong. So take that for what it is. All right.
I don't understand how it feels cheap, but whatever. We'll talk about it Sunday.
Sunday, we'll talk about all that stuff. Sunday, it's going to be all spoiled. We're going to talk about everything. A lot of stuff we talked about backstage, which is like, there's just some crazy stuff. I have got some pretty dead on, I think, theories of what's going on. We'll explain
Marco's always right. Remember that, right?
I am always, for the most part,
Marco.
Very rarely wrong is what I say. I don't say I'm always right. I'm very rarely wrong. We didn't get a ton of stuff. Well, our rumor mill didn't get a ton of stuff right in these first 2 episodes. But let's stop with that. Let's ring it.
Our rumor mill is also AKA Dom. Just to let you know.
If you were close, that's like saying like you and Australia are close. I mean, you're on the same fucking planet.
I could actually walk to Australia. That's how close it is. That's how close my rumors are.
Yes.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's about right. You're about right. I get what you're saying. All right, hey, let's get into it. We got 5 questions. I'm going to go down them. It's on a 1 to 5 scale. I'm going to hit you up with all of them. So if you really think like we might spoil something after you hear the 5 questions, feel free to come back later. But they're very, very easy questions to get over, ones that will not spoil anything. The first question we will have, all these are based on a 1 to 5 scale, is did it have that Star Wars feeling? You guys all know what that is. That's what everybody always says. Oh, that didn't have the Star Wars feeling. That did have the Star Wars feeling. We'll cover that one. Our second one is the aesthetics. Apparently, John said it looked cheap. I think there's going to be a difference of opinion on that one, but we're going to just talk about what it looked like. What it looked like. Not spoil anything, but what it looked like. The third one is pacing. And that could be a pacing thing where you thought, that because it's 2 episodes, we're going to do it as a combo. The score is going to be a combo 1 to 5, but you can split up your explanation of why you gave that score. Number 4 is going to be characters. We are not going to spoil characters. We're just going to talk, did they feel right? Was there a couple characters you felt were just stupid? Or did you think they were all great? Did you think all of them, it made sense? And then number 5 is storytelling, the end. How was the storytelling throughout the 2 episodes? And I assume that's going to cause a little bit of a panic, but also 1 through 5 on that. All right. So let's start off going around the horn. Wayseeker, you heard the first one. Star Wars feeling. Did you feel these 2 episodes had that Star Wars feeling?
Yes. I give this a 5. Right off the bat, I absolutely felt like it was Star Wars with the music.
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
Okay.
The ominous music at the start with the, we didn't get the full crawl, but you had the Star Wars words right there explaining everything. Just set the stage, and you just knew it was Star Wars, and it felt Star Wars the whole way through.
What'd you give on that, Wayseeker?
5.
Oh, okay. Well, damn. Okay. All right, Dom, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm going to give the Star Wars feel a 4.
Okay.
I do enjoy the scroll going up, but at least she gave the header of what we're going into, how many years before the Empire, which I have to give her props for that. I definitely have to give her props for that. And I have to give her props for all the names of the planets, which I do definitely like when they do. Hold on.
She's not the only person that did this. So, like,
I
blame one person, now you're giving all the credit to one person.
No.
There's a lot of people. There's a writing room for this. So, but go ahead.
No, I know, but you know what? And it did have the music, and the costumes, the wardrobes and stuff. Just it did have a feel of Star Wars.
Okay, good.
I do, but I give it a 4, because it.
There.
There's some things a little off, but
you did say one section felt like Star Trek, so I get it.
Okay. Yeah, it did feel like Star Trek one section, which may be
Darth negativity. Let's see what you got for us tonight.
It's a 4. It's definitely Star Wars. I'll put it this way: if you watch it, I don't know how you could mistake it for anything else. There are some things that feel a little bit out of place. I'll admit. Some of the action sequence for a little bit maybe wasn't the Star Wars you think of when you think of typical Star Wars fight scenes or saber fights or whatever. But other than that, it's Star Wars. And you can't mistake it for anything else, I don't think. The feel, the music, everything that's there that you typically need to be Star Wars.
Cool. I give it a 5 also, and this is why. Because there's points in it that just not replicating Star Wars, which some things do, but because I'm a big reader, and so is Wayseeker and everything else, there's points in there where when I read the book in my head, it looks like that. And there were things in here where it was like, that's how it looks in the book. Like, that's a Star Wars book. Like, that's how those would play out in Star Wars. So I'm giving it a 5. I mean, it was Star Wars, man. It was Star Wars. All right. And even more than Andor. Like, Andor had a little bit of Star Wars in it, I guess, maybe 4, somewhere around there, 4, 5. But, like, this thing was, like, there's no doubt. And they gave you everything. I know there's a lot of rumors that they weren't going to give you. They gave you everything, dude. So.
I got to admit one thing. No, you're right about the feel of Star Wars. Like, Andor had more of a feel of it felt something different, but it was Star Wars, but it didn't, like, fit in the Star Wars universe, kind of like
it felt like one of the sub books or something, like the Backlog SSAs. Yes.
Yes,
Andor had that thing too where, like, it, if you sat down and you watched it and you only saw 10 minutes of it, you could have mistaken it for something that wasn't Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
I don't feel that way with this show quite as much.
No, you get locked in real quick and you stay there for both episodes. Very good. All right. So then next up, we're going to move it down to Dom. Let's talk about the aesthetics, Dom. How did it look? Like, how did it look? John said it looked cheap. I don't know.
I don't think it looked cheap. I think it looked really good. I think the quality, I know it's not the what's the thing called that they filmed it in the
volume.
The volume. I know a lot of it was on location, I think, right?
Yep.
So it felt good. It felt expensive. Hey, look, I really wish that the money they put into this would have went into Obi-Wan. Because there was a lot of big things. The space scene with the ships in space, when you can do a high quality ship in space on a TV show, I give it a thumbs up, and I thought I give it a 5 because it felt great.
Damn. So he's got a 4 and a 5. Yeah. All right.
And there's a couple little tidbits that made me like things that were done that they didn't like. Just like, all right, this is this. That little
detail,
that
attention to detail.
The detail.
Yeah, the detail on the way things look. Like, yeah,
exactly.
I get what you're saying.
I like what they did there because
there was some AI, some CGI that like could have gone the wrong way. I agree. Dark negativity. What do we got on this?
I'll stick with a 4 for this. To me, this and the first one kind of go hand in hand as far as the questions go, because to me it's kind of how I measure aesthetics, I guess, for a Star Wars show, at least in my mind, is how does it feel? Does it feel like Star Wars visually?
Sure.
And I think the thing, and I don't know, when John said the word sheep, he may have been alluding to this a little bit. I thought some things were maybe a little too clean. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but other than that, like, I feel like
it wasn't shot in 8mm. Is that what you're saying?
Well, like Andor, for instance, I hate to keep comparing it back to Andor. When you go back to Andor, for instance, it used practical effects and everything much more than any other Star Wars show, and this one does too. But this felt more clean than Andor. Andor kind of felt dirty, like you were supposed to be on like a deserty planet with a bunch of dust around.
I think Andor was supposed to feel. They usually use the word gritty, which they use it incorrectly. That usually just means dark. But I feel like that's what Andor was supposed to be. I'm not sure that's what this is supposed to be.
Yeah. And then maybe it could be tied to that. And it's kind of in that era of, the Jedi are elevated and therefore maybe clean. And visually speaking, that was what they were going for too. So it's hard to say. But
I'm just saying, were you not impressed with, like, when I'm talking about aesthetics, like, I'm talking about space. Like, the space.
No, I was. That's why it's a 4. It's not a 2 or anything. If I had to take a point off, and I kind of see where John was getting at, like I said, maybe use of a different word, but I can kind of see where he's getting at. So,
I'm sorry, real quick before Wesley goes. Yes, the clean, gritty, the clean part of it, the prequels. We all complained about. Wait a minute,
another,
how come Star Wars looks so gritty and dirty? You go to the prequels, everything's shiny and beautiful. So so it works. It works.
I'm giving that a 5 too. I thought, like, there's one part where CGI, maybe it would have been a 4.5, but like I looked at it and then looked at it again. I was like, no. Like every scene, every place they went, I hate what they're doing in Star Wars, where they do the like gray things and the black things, and it's just tough to. I mean, I'm older. I guess maybe I need creepers or whatever the things they call now, but like I shouldn't need those to watch a Star Wars thing. And it feels like sometimes I have to change the color on my TV to even see the images. And sometimes when you,
the blackness, you mean like the
the blackness, and sometimes you can see that they use it to cover up like mistakes and stuff like that. Where here everything was so crisp, I was like, this is what they're talking about. Like when you're talking about 5K TVs and stuff, like it's because of this. Like, wow, it was like National Geographic of Star Wars. You know what I'm talking about when they do the planet thing or whatever? Yeah. I really had that feeling for it. Like each place they went, and they went to multiple places, I was like, which one are they going to blunder? And I don't feel like they blundered any of them. There was one CGI scene, which I was like, they almost did. But I mean, I'd give it a 4.8, not a 5.0. But since we're only doing 0.5s, like I got to give it a 5 too, man. Like, damn, they did a good. Damn, I didn't know how much they spent on it, and I came in here ahead of time, was like, it looks like they spent a shit ton of money. And then Dom let me know how much they spent. I go, oh, well, they ain't doing that again. That's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of money. All right, I'm giving that one a 5. What do you got, Seeker?
It's a 5 for me. I just can't find a reason to go lower. And I mean, when I think of like the aliens, like.
Oh my god,
they look so good. And you look at like Mando season 3. I know people are talking about Mando season. Those stupid like green alien with like that, the one that was on the ship that everybody thought looked so hideous and horrible. And then you compare it to these aliens, which are like 5,000 times better. And there were so many aliens, so many different types of aliens.
That made me
hold on, we're gonna get to characters in a minute. We're gonna get to characters.
I'm just saying, but that's aesthetics. They all look good.
Yeah, everything looked good.
They all look good. They're not like any of them look like they had a fat head or like.
The thing with the Inquisitors, like
nothing like that. Nothing that stood out. And you're like, that doesn't fit.
The snow didn't look off. The mountain, like nothing looked. Space didn't look off. The ships didn't. Nothing. Nothing. It looked good. All right, cool.
One more thing before we move on from aesthetics, and I know you want to be quick, but I'm just curious about this for everybody else. What does everybody think about the lightsabers? Because they do the lightsabers differently now than they used to.
They shine more, but they're shorter.
Yeah, and they're more like they're actual practical lightsabers versus kind of the CGI lightsabers. I kind of like that old look better myself, but I mean, I'd go either way, really. But they definitely have more color to them now.
If everything wasn't so clean, I think you're right. I would have a problem with them, especially the length of them. However, because, and I noticed it, I can't say how I noticed it, but we can talk about it on Sunday. I think the way everything was shot, it just like that's why I gave it a 5, not a 4.5. Is because like it fit the room, like every room, everything in the room visually was appealing. Like it just there wasn't anything on it, like kind of what Wasey was saying. There wasn't any oddball faces or like somebody's hands where it's not supposed to be, or a long limb or something stupid like lightsabers too. I don't know if a longer lightsaber, the old school ones, would have fit. And I don't think even the glare off, like if you looked at the glare off of these lightsabers, it had that it did, like, I don't know. Can you explain it, JJ? Compared to the old ones?
So these being like practical lightsabers, I mean, obviously they're not the same ones you like buy like from like was it Galaxy's Edge or whatever. Like, it's similar to that in the fact that like they'll give off a brighter glow, like they're like LED. I don't know if they're LED based. I imagine they are.
Yeah,
somehow LED based, but they'll give off a brighter glow. Obviously, the old ones were basically just sticks with the kind of the CGI effect done over them.
But the CGI effect would give this weird glow.
Yeah, it would be almost like a haze. Like a hazy kind of out of focus.
And sometimes that would screw up the screen too. Like I didn't like that so much. And maybe I didn't know I didn't like it as much till I saw these that have like a glow. Like it glows.
Yeah. It's kind of like glow. It's literally like a glow stick. I don't know how to describe it other than that.
Yeah, but a cleaner one where it pushes off. I mean, I agree. That's a good point, JJ. Very strong point. Very good point. Speaking of good points, let's talk about the characters. And I'm not just talking about like the characters. I want to see how you felt they looked. I want to see how you felt they acted. I want to see if you thought there was just characters thrown in there for no reason. Don't say who it is or who it isn't. Did they fit in the storytelling? Like all that type of stuff. Let's just go did you enjoy the characters? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I want to say. Hey, Joe, what's going on? Darth Negativity, are you there?
Oh, me? Oh, sorry. I didn't know it was first.
Sorry.
Yeah, the characters was one thing I was a little bit apprehensive about, especially the whole, twins aspect and all that. And to me, that's kind of a cliche kind of thing. But other than that, the characters worked very well so far. I don't know if you want me to. I may include the only gripe I had about them, maybe more in writing than actual characters.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of early to judge some of them. But yeah, so far.
Yeah, but sometimes you meet a character right off the bat. You're like, this character's stupid and sucks. Like, it doesn't fit.
And I didn't feel like anybody had absurdly like, sometimes you get that obtuse or intentional like dialogue from a character, especially early on when they're trying to kind of give exposition about somebody
or whatever.
And I didn't feel like that was there. So actually characters probably 4 out of 5 or 4.5. I mean,
4 points. Wow, Darth Negativity doesn't even respond to JJ anymore because I said JJ, you're going. He says, who's next? And I had to say Darth Negativity. So like doesn't even respond to that, but gave a 4.5. These 2 episodes for characters.
I reserve the right to adjust that later in the series.
This is only for these 2 episodes.
Absolutely.
I will tell you, I had probably some of maybe it was a little bit of Dom's like made up bullshit that got in my head or whatever. But like I had, and then maybe just like because we've seen it before. Like when was the last time we got a Star Wars thing where every character fit and felt like they belonged, right? To the story that was being told. Like they looked right. They felt like they should be there. Like JJ said, they were using words that made sense. It wasn't just word salad. They felt like they were an integral part of each scene we saw. They looked really, dude, I gotta tell you, I was worried about Vedestra Rowe. I thought she looked stupid in the plane shots. I thought she was gonna look stupid. It's not a spoiler because we all know she shows up in the show. So just so you know, but like, I thought that she was going to look stupid there. I know when we saw a lot of the pre stuff, like it was like, I hope the color is correct. I hope
production stills and stuff.
Yeah, and they didn't do much, but I noticed it, and they did enough, in my opinion. They did enough for that.
Still don't know why she doesn't have hair, but still.
Yeah, I thought she looked like she kind of did, but then I saw what it was. Yeah,
but she looked better than I thought she was going to look. I was
way better than I thought she was.
Yeah.
And not just that, but like everything, because I will tell you that there is oh dude, I did? Oh, my bad. We'll get back to it in a second. I knew we were fast. Thank you, Wayseeker. Just say I skipped something. But like when you saw them and each of them showed up, I felt like, okay, cool. Because what Dom was saying was they're just throwing characters in there for no reason. That is not the case. Characters were there, and they did a good job. They did a really good job. So I'm at 5, and I'm glad we didn't do pacing for JJ. So we'll do pacing here in a minute with him. So all right. I mean Darth negativity. Go ahead, Wayseeker.
I'll give it a 4.
Ooh.
There's one character I really don't like.
Ooh, but is it? Are you not supposed to like him?
I don't know, but like just the choices, like even like I'll just say there's a character that doesn't have a shirt on for a while. It just felt really.
I was gonna say.
No, I like that.
I didn't like that.
That character is a character that shows up in Star Wars all the time. It is every era
of it all the time.
Yes, every era of Star Wars.
He was showing his
happen anymore.
His inner Kylo Ren.
That's the character that I really didn't like and thought was out of place. And just
because in every Star Wars era that character's there. Go ahead. I don't care.
That's the only.
I just think you're insecure with your sexuality.
That might be whatever.
That's okay. You're like, man, that guy's got a lot of hair. And look at what I got going on.
He's not blue, so like if he was blue, he'd be okay. But he's not blue. So hey,
if he was blue, he'd be all there.
Yeah. So that character put me at a 4.
All right.
Fair enough.
Dom, you're up.
I'm up. Okay. So the characters, in the beginning when
on aliens,
about aliens, I'm all about the aliens when it comes to representation in Star Wars. Aliens, give me aliens. I want more aliens. So I'm happy the fact that the aliens had the look and they had the feel. Especially I always like the criminal aspect of things. The prisoners. That was a cool part for me. I like that. But the look and feel of the characters reminded me of the prequel era characters. The way they were dressed, the way they represented themselves. Like on the ship, you had the two Federation, trade Federation.
Yeah. We know what you're saying. We know.
So that was actually pretty cool. They had that. I like that.
That looked better than when we saw them before.
Yeah. My only gripe.
Yes.
When it comes to characters, yes. I like words. I like when the character talks and they show the words underneath because you can't understand them. You have to see what he's talking about.
You like to read closed caption?
I like character that solo and you can't hear.
You like different dialects. You like different dialects.
Yeah. I like that.
Oh, they did that too here. So
they did. No, they did.
What do you got it down?
I give it a 5.
Woo!
I give it a 5. And it's not including the character that the Wayseeker was talking about. I kind of not like
Dom's not scared of that though. Dom's happy with his sexuality. He doesn't care.
That's nothing.
That's what Dom does at home.
Dom does that in the gym when he's lifting. He's shirtless all the time.
I'll tell you one thing. We're gonna be getting something else. Now it's our time. We'll have for the men got theirs, the ladies got theirs, and the men will get theirs. We'll see somebody.
There's no more Slave Leia coming out. All right, Wayseeker, let's go into pacing. You called me out for missing it, so I'm gonna put it.
Pacing. I'll go first, I guess. So I'll give 4.5.
And that's on both, right?
What? I thought there were a few slow moments in the first episode.
Really?
Yeah, just kind of. I don't know. On the ice planet and a couple other places, just a little bit slow. I thought it could have been sped up a little bit. Second episode to me was absolute perfection. The speed wise, pacing wise.
One of the best moments was on that ice planet, bro.
I loved the second episode. Like you couldn't do better than that one. So for the first episode, a little off.
All right, Dom, what do you got on pacing? What's up?
Pacing, the pacing. Like, look, I'll give you this. The second one definitely was great. I would give a 5 out of 5 for the second one for the pacing. The first one, I'll give a 4 out of 5 because there was a couple of things that were.
Well, you gotta give it for combo for the both. So overall,
what happened?
You gotta go overall though. So
overall, I give it 5.
Okay, so keep going. Keep going with what you're saying about the first.
Look, I'm saying, the story, the pacing of the action. There was a lot of action and a lot of and look, you got to understand. There's a lot of different things that go on. That they're new characters that they're putting in different. They're showing old things but new, and I like it. I like introducing the characters, and of course, like I know that Andor gets the for the slow pace, and a lot of people didn't watch it because of slow pace. But this is actually much more action packed than Andor from the get go.
Oh yeah,
from the get go. And a 5 out of 5. Look, the little tidbit that I have for the first episode gets thrown away with the second episode, so I'm happy about that.
Yep.
Hey, all right, dark negativity. This is usually where you come in and you wake little kids up in the middle of the night.
I'm waffling between a 4 and a 4.5. I'll probably go 4, just because I'm with Wayseeker. I thought the first one was slow, and there's some parts in there where I was kind of like this is like you look at your watch type of thing. But overall, the second episode was better, like Dom and Wayseeker said. So when you look at it as a whole, and I averaged it out, it's probably a 4. Like I would have gone 3.5 first, 4.5 second. Only little hiccups I had were, I think, first off, I'm a little bit afraid going forward if they'll slow that pacing down a little bit, and I think they will to get more exposition in there. But I was pleasantly surprised by the fact that I thought we would get more exposition than was necessary, being like a whole new era, whole new characters, all that. And we didn't really get that. So I have to compliment them extraordinarily on that. I felt like the pacing for being something brand new was actually very good.
Yeah, Christopher, I think we got to disagree with that. I think they treated the audience like they weren't morons. I think, but yeah, okay. So I'll get into it because I'll get to my pacing. All right, so I have a 5 on pacing. I understand what some of you are saying because you guys hate exposition, period. So whenever they do any of it, you're going to mark it down. I get that. But it was fast. Like the little bit that they did of it, they presented it fast. They got us through all the scenes that we already knew were coming. They did a lot in a very short period of time. When you think about it, what was that? Combined time?
70 minutes, maybe.
70 minutes?
65 to 70 minutes, yeah.
We're not sitting here going, okay, let's expose where this is going. Let's see where, oh, wait, we're just introduced. No, they went, hell, turn it on, light a fire, let's go. And they got through some of the stuff. They didn't say, like, there's still some mysteries out there, but they didn't, like, the ones that you're like, okay, we don't need, like, that aren't going to play that big of a part in it, that they already showed us in trailers. They're like, cool, we'll put the trailer in there. We got the whole trailer. And I think one of the parts that you guys are talking about. Huh? Go ahead, Darth.
I was going to say, that's one of my only hangups is this early on, you don't know. That's why I was thinking character-wise, too. You don't really know who's going to play a big part in it later and who's not going to play a big part in it later. Somebody could die next episode, So there was coming in, there was people I was expecting to spend more time with than we did.
Yeah.
Was the only thing. But
yeah, me too. I agree. Christopher, that's not the mystery because they already had stated publicly that she was playing sisters, that the main girl, I don't know what her name was, is playing sisters. So we already knew that. And they actually said there's twin sisters playing the younger versions of them. So that wasn't the mystery. There is a mystery there that they still haven't gotten to. There's some theories on it, but they haven't gotten to it yet. I will also say, like, I like it when you give us the trailer and then 90% of the trailer or probably 100% of the trailer of what they showed us in all their trailers and in all their sizzle reels are burnt. It's all done. There's nothing left, pretty much. Like, there really isn't anything left. And they did that, but kept it so fast where they didn't stick onto those points. So, I mean, I have to give it a 5 out of 5, dude, because, like, there's no other way to, there's just, dude, it was so quick. Like, and I know Wayseeker's heartless and JJ is too. So, like, some of the emotional parts in there, maybe, like, they thought was slow. But there's a couple of emotional parts as a father, and I hate to say it like that because I know people always use those excuses, or somebody who mentors a lot of people. Like, there was a couple of those parts that I know you guys probably thought were slow, but they were very poignant and very emotional on the same level as some of the stuff that happened in Endor. Christopher, for you in there. And by the way, I respect your opinion, Christopher. Don't get it twisted. Just because we disagree doesn't mean I don't respect your opinion on it. But what I'm saying is, like, those points you might have thought were small, because I heard all three of you go for it. I think maybe stop liking blue animals maybe have a couple of heathens like I have running around, do a little bit more community work with all these like forgotten souls, and you might come around to that being fast paced. All right.
Listen, Chris, I'll be honest with you, Chris. Yoda held back a lot from everybody, so don't worry about it.
No, he's good. He's good. He's good. Yeah, thank you for understanding, Chris. Sometimes it doesn't translate that well when we're going back and forth and everything. All right, last up, who did I just go with? Wayseeker.
Yep.
All right. Dom's getting it because this is Dom's biggest beef with Star Wars. He says it every day. His biggest beef, for the people that don't know, is there's not any good storytelling. There hasn't been any good storytelling. Nobody can write a story. This lady can't write a story. That lady can't write a story. This dude is a dude, but a lady writing a story. Nobody can write a story. Dom, scale 1 for 5. I'm both, and you can split it up to tell which one was better, which one was worse, and then give us a combo score like you did last week. Let's hear about storytelling.
All right, the storytelling, you can't really tell for the first 2 episodes. You have to wait for the entire thing to come out. But I'm impressed on how she is making it easy for a lot of people to follow, because a lot of people will get confused. A lot of people will get a complicated story, throws people off. So I like the pacing of the story that she's telling so far. And you know, look, I can't wait for the next few episodes. You know, I can't, you know, it's that much. I'm enjoying it. And so far the story, and look, simple. There's someone murdering Jedis. You know,
let's not get into what the story's about.
No, I'm just
so
saying,
what are you doing for both stories? What's your grade, Dom? Damn it, Dom!
What? I'm just
tell you that and everything.
Damn it! Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay.
We already knew that.
The story is easy to understand.
It is.
And if you coming in, you can get there like, you know what? Oh, wow, this is happening. That's happening. I'm aboard in this. That's why a lot of complicated stories turn people away.
Yeah. Okay. So it's easy. Yeah. Like that's the one thing. Like I was like kind of saying to Christopher. Like, and I think if I'm correct, but if not, correct me. Like they didn't treat you like a moron with their storytelling, but they didn't treat you like a moron in either way. They didn't say like, "Oh, we're smarter than you, and you just don't get it." And they also didn't do like, "Hey, you're too dumb to understand this," right? Like they kind of did both ways. All right. So what'd you give it overall?
I'm gonna give the story a 4 right now.
Okay. All right.
4 right now, and
that's a lot better.
It could change. It could change after the next couple episodes.
Yeah, absolutely, Dom. You 100%. We'll grade it as we normally do, episode by episode. Dark negativity. Let's get that 3.0 or 2.0 out of you.
It's actually going to be. I'll give it. No, I'll give it a.
The internet broke up just as he's about
3.5 or
3.5.
4.
4.5.
3.5, I think.
Wow! All right, JJ. There, negativity.
No,
there you go.
4 even.
No, 4 even.
4 even.
Okay, 4 even.
But yeah, 4 even. But I think I'll put a huge asterisk next to that because I don't know how it's going to go. I'm like, Dom, I don't know how it's.
We're not talking about AM. We're talking about these two. Who cares about what's going to happen?
I know. I'm just saying, but it's hard to judge just off of you're in not even
Joe,
through Act 1 yet.
Joe's absolutely right. That's what JJ wants.
JJ's worst fear is going to happen in the next episode. 100%. That's why he's letting us know.
I feel it. Yeah. Actually, that's negative half a point is right there probably because I feel like we're going to get a ton of
negative half a point.
Flashback. But
we're like, hey, JJ. That's the first thing JJ said. We're like, don't say that till Sunday's show, and Joe ruins it like within 2 seconds.
But
anyways, go ahead, JJ.
In complete agreement with Dom. They made it very approachable, which is always. And when you're bringing in, we talked about it before this came out, is that it's kind of there also to bring in new fans to the fandom, or maybe people back to the fandom or whatever that have only seen movies or whatever. Trying to make for this to be their first Disney Plus show or something like that, and I think it accomplished that goal. Was that I do so? I think that's where a lot of the points I would give them come from. And the only thing there's half a point for the coming of the future thing, and maybe a negative half a point is the only other thing is I said this before the show even started once we learned about it, but I'm not huge on the twins storyline. I feel like that's been done a lot in Star Wars, and I don't need to see too much more of it. but I'm willing to see that play out to see where it goes, and maybe they aren't twins. You can see how that goes in the future or less. But
Well,
right
I just
now,
glad they
I'll
weren't having
reserve
twins
judgment
make
on
out
that
with
much.
each other. That's all I was like.
Yeah, to me, the twins thing is always like, well, there's an evil twin and a good twin, and you don't know which is which until the twist comes and all that. And so hopefully it doesn't be too cliche as it goes on. But I wanted to let them give a pass on that one for now. So
I think they're going to have a little cliche.
Can I say one thing really quick?
No. Wait.
Just wait. All right. I'm going to give storytelling a 5 too. I mean, I obviously knew some of the stuff that was going to happen because, we covered the news. But like when I got done with the story, much like Dom, I actually wasn't like Dom. I was fulfilled. Like the 2 episodes, I was like, wow, dude, they ended it at a good place. The pacing was good. The characters all made sense. The story made sense. They could have taken some cheap shots. And I know you guys are going to go like, the dude took off his shirt and there was a corny joke there. But Star Wars has corny jokes in it. So like, the storytelling added onto it. And I kind of getting on Dom about like, I was joking, but kind of getting on where he's giving one person credit. And I think Wayseeker had said something, sorry to step on your toes on this one, Wayseeker. But Wayseeker said something that related to Andor 2 is like, the writing room seems to be the way to go because this was done, the storytelling as a whole, even if they gave us fucked up characters, messed up aliens, oblong head idiots, like at least we'd be able to say, well, the storytelling was good. Like when you take it on the basis of not just the pace of it, but the storytelling, like it's poignant. Like kind of what Christopher said. Christopher said earlier, he's like, oh, I didn't know they were twins, but that was something cool, whatever. Like, okay, it makes sense. Like they really told us a lot ahead of time. Like not like spoiler sites that Dom goes to, but like the official Star Wars site. Like they were telling us a lot of stuff ahead of time. So we knew it, but like, I think that made us nervous. And personally, it made me nervous. All right. I will tell you the last couple of weeks, I've been nervous that this thing was not going to be good. And it came out and I was like, oh man, like if you don't like this, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You might want to try. I don't know. I think they could give you a drug for that. Like, cause life ain't working well for you, bro. Like it just ain't like, this is enjoyable. The storytelling was great. So I'm giving it a 5. I'm not worried. Look, I'm not worried about flashbacks. If they give us flashbacks, how they've handled it, they've done a good job. I know you guys hate that. I know you hate expose. I know you hate feelings, men having feelings. I know you guys hate all that stuff. Like, I know you're scared of it.
It's totally not true.
I get it. But, like, I'm just telling you, like, I have no problem with any of it as well as it's done.
All right.
I got to stick up for ourselves a little bit here real quick before you go and say, it's not that I don't like, I don't like flashbacks in general, but it's not that I don't like flashbacks or exposition. It's that I don't like wasted exposition. And I don't like episodes that are 85% flashback because your story's not going forward. So your story's not linear at that point. There's certain reasons why I don't like this stuff. It's not just pulled out of the blue.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a 5, but that's okay. All right. For me, storytelling is a 5. Easy 5. Absolutely easy 5. And Christopher, you bring this up. I don't want to spoil anything, but this is one of the reasons why it's a 5. Like, I like that happened. And things actually matter.
When she comes back at some
we don't know that right now, and that's a different part. The future could change it, of course. But as of now, things actually mattered. There has a writing room, and you could actually tell it made a huge difference. Things were cohesive and well thought out. I remember when we read Trail of Shadows from the High Republic, and we're like, this is a really good new genre of Star Wars when they're trying to get into mysteries and some of the detective stuff. And I'm glad to see them lean into that a little bit more. So I like how they're doing a new genre. I like how the writing was done. I like how everything really did matter. I like how Easter eggs, which there were some Easter eggs, they never detracted from the story. If you didn't know it, it didn't matter. If you did know it, it was cool. Again, it didn't detract at all once from the story like they usually do. Yeah. Everything flowed to where it wanted to go, and that really made a big difference.
Do you think they're going to do the 80? Okay, I'm sorry. Wait, so you got 5-0. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think they're going to do the internet's going to do the 80 Easter eggs you missed, and it's just going to be like stupid
Yeah.
shit?
They're always going to do that.
Oh,
they are.
Doesn't matter what list that comes up. They're always
They
doing
are.
95
They
Easter
say
eggs.
something I love.
Yep. And there were some good Easter eggs in there, but it didn't matter if you didn't get them. That was the thing I liked about it.
I didn't even catch any. Like, to be honest, I didn't even care to look.
Well, it's not real. There's a couple that aren't real Easter eggs, but they're like just
Verbal.
call outs. They're call outs.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff I obviously caught. Like, but I mean, I didn't care. I guess was the point I was going.
I'm actually upset with one thing really quick. When Soul was walking around and he was telling the kids, "Close your eyes."
Hold on.
No. It's a scene that you've seen on
the trailer. Okay.
Yeah, close your eyes. The alien with his eyes wide open. They actually cut that scene out.
Oh yeah.
From the trailer.
Yeah, they didn't show it.
I don't mind. Don't mind. Don't care.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the alien that couldn't close his eyes. You mean? I forget what it was. Rodinian or whatever it was.
People
they probably should have left that in. I just think like overall, just we're at 40. How do we get to 40 minutes?
I know we got to wrap it up.
We killed it.
I just look, man. Great. You follow us. Make sure that you tune into Sunday because there are some things that we wanted to say here. We just didn't want to spoil it because we know that some of you just don't want it to spoil for us. Maybe if you guys like this, just give us the thumbs up. Tell us in the comments below that you like this, and maybe we'll keep doing it throughout the series. I mean, you're going to get a lot of stuff coming in the next day. We try to keep our stuff pretty clean. We just, by the time we get to Sunday, you guys have personally chat us and call us up all the time to ask questions. So like, we're just getting it out of the way now, right? We will get more in depth. We definitely have got some more speculation, maybe some more conversation going on with certain things. The two boys to my right on the screen, left on the screen, but right in my had something, and I wanted to just so badly tell them where it was going, but I couldn't do that. But we will get into that on Sunday. We'll let Dom go a little bit wild as long as you're taste. And let's remember right now. I want to put this out here because we're going to sit on a couple days, right? Like JJ for the most part's at about a 4 overall. You know what I mean? Wayseeker's pretty close to a 5, if not at a 5 overall. I'm at a 5, and Dom is at a 5 overall right now, right? He's 5.1, really, if you want to think about it. But let's just see where he is on Sunday. I want to see where Dom is on Sunday.
Dom said he's not going to check any of the rumor sites. So let's see what he does, because we know where the rumors come from. So if he's,
and I will tell you this, I had heard early on, and I don't know 100% if this is true, but they shut down they shut down the review sites because they were being whatever it's called, botted. Botted by negative reviews. Watch this. Just watch these 2 episodes, and if you don't like it, just don't turn on Star Wars anymore. Like, it's cool. But
you can still watch Star Wars.
You still watch Star Wars. Just don't watch the show.
Watch Star Wars. Don't listen to Marco.
Don't watch Star Wars anymore. Like, this is actually really good. So,
you gotta quit gatekeeping your fandom, man.
Just understand that there's always nubs for you.
No, listen. Okay, sorry. Don't watch any more of the show. Go see a doctor immediately, especially if the hate lasts for more than 4 hours, and then come back after you prescribe.
Don't let the hate flow, because hate turns to
watch some Young Jedi Adventures to cleanse your palate.
Oh, God, you
we got news on that coming Sunday.
No,
do it. And Star Wars Hunters came out today. I'll make a plug for it. Download it. We'll talk about that on Sunday.
Did anybody do the thing? Did anybody start the clan?
We haven't started clan yet. No. I don't even know if you can, but you can do friends. We'll get into it on Sunday. We'll go over it on Sunday, so we'll do that too.
Listen, I'm calling it right now. The twins have a brother, and it's
don't stop.
Predictions on Sunday.
Get out of here before Dom ruins it.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you for everybody in chat. We really appreciate you guys stopping by, spending some time with us. Hopefully you enjoyed this. We'll see you on Sunday for some more stuff. Make sure you got all the content. I guess I'll see you tomorrow night. We'll see you guys later.